Tacit certainty of real God, taken from the ALETHEON, Volume 1, page 118. The divine avatar's self-revelation of his divine presence, Avatar Adidar Samraj. It is part of the ego game to think of God as the first cause, or the cause of everything. However, real God is not the cause of anything. Real causal God is that within which everything is arising. Real causal God is that power of egoless mere being, which is vast, infinite, and beyond comprehension, tacitly, self-evidently so. Real causal God is reality itself, all in all including, and all in all transcending. When you exercise reality intelligence, the tacit certainty of real God is directly and tacitly registered, completely obvious, and altogether self-evident. In that case, you simply regard all of this conditional arising in the disposition of your tacit certainty, which always leans you toward the reality divine. There is much more than that leaning to realize, but tacit certainty of the self-evidence of reality itself establishes you in the constantly Godward disposition. Therefore, you must never forget to exercise the moment-to-moment disposition in which the reality divine is tacitly, obviously so. You forget to exercise the tacit certainty of intrinsic reality intelligence whenever you identify with the lower or merely superficial body-mind self. However, when you keep intrinsic reality intelligence constantly alive, and thus and thereby keep the heart alive moment to moment, there is always a tacit certainty of egoless real God, which is the perfect power of being, reality itself, the self-evidently divine self-nature, self-condition, and self-state of all and all. All kinds of ideas are prevalent in the various common institutions of religion, and those ideas seem to be about God. However, in actuality, those ideas are about humankind and about maintaining order among humankind. The order associated with civilized living, social life, political authority, the structuring of society. Thus, the concern of conventional religious institutions and processes is not real God realization, but social, political, and cultural order. My divinely avatarically self-revealed reality teachings are not, in their fundamentals, about social, political, and cultural order. My divinely avatarically self-revealed reality teachings are direct self-revelations of real God realization. Therefore, my divinely avatarically self-revealed reality teachings are a call for people to enter into the real God realizing process. That is another matter altogether than the maintaining of social, political, and cultural order, either principally or for its own sake. Thus, and so, the esoteric domain of the real God realizing process transcends conventional religion of the common institutionalized kind. Ideas such as God the Creator, or the God of history, or the God who does everything, are institutional ideas associated with conventional and socially oriented religion, not communications from the disposition of real God realization. Even though conventional ideas about God are associated with the God label, such ideas are, in general, in fact, ordinary human ideas. The idea of the Creator God suggests that God is responsible for everything that everybody does and everything that is happening. Real acausal God is the egoless being force within which all of this is arising. Therefore, you cannot hold real acausal God accountable for what you are doing, or for how things are happening, or indeed for all your trouble here. Real causal God is the immense resource, or the source potential for everything. Therefore, everything arises in and as real causal God, but no thing or event is caused by real causal God. You yourself are making the events of your life, and always according to your own conclusions, and you yourself are fastening yourself to the limitations you choose. Real causal God is not responsible for any or all of that. Real causal God is the reality way beyond all of that. Real causal God is that which you must intrinsically or always priorly self-realize in order to be intrinsically and perfectly egolessly liberated from all your apparent limitations. Real causal God is that force of being, that immense reality intelligence, that incomprehensible intelligence and egoless perfect force that is the being reason why anything can be at all. Therefore, real causal God is the intrinsically self-evident reality resort of all and all, and the ultimate potential and possibility of all and all. Such is the true nature of real, the causal God. Da, da, da.